You close your eyes and picture the ultimate sled dog. What do you see? Probably something out of a movie poster, right? A massive, hulking beast, muscle on muscle, a broad chest, a giant head, maybe a scar over one eye. The alpha, the tough guy. We've been trained by Hollywood to think that pulling a sled across 1,000 miles of frozen hell requires a monster. We think brute strength is the only currency that matters out on the ice. But if you actually go to a checkpoint during the Iditarod or talk to a seasoned musher who survived minus 40 degrees for weeks on end, they'll tell you something that sounds totally backward. They'll tell you their best dog, the one they literally cannot finish the race without, isn't the 100-pound brute, it's the 45-pound female standing next to him. It sounds crazy. It feels like it defies physics. But the reality of long-distance mushing isn't about who can bench press the most weight. It's about efficiency, brain power, and a level of grit that doesn't need to show off. So let's shatter the myth of the alpha male leader. Let's talk about why the real queen of the North is, well, actually a queen. Here's the thing about physics. Gravity doesn't care how tough you look. Gravity only cares about mass. When you're running on packed trail, sure, size is fine. But the moment that trail gets soft, the moment a storm dumps fresh powder, that big, impressive 80-pound male becomes a liability. He's heavy. Every step he takes, he's punching through the crust. We call it post-holing. He's sinking. He has to use twice the energy just to lift his legs out of the snow to take the next step. Now, look at the smaller female. She's compact, maybe 40, 45 pounds. She doesn't sink, she floats. Her power-to-weight ratio is off the charts. She skims over the top of the snow crust like a water strider. It's not that she's weak, it's that she doesn't have to fight the terrain the same way the big boys do. Think of it like this. If you had to run a marathon carrying a backpack, would you want to be a bodybuilder carrying 100 pounds or a gymnast carrying 20? Over 1,000 miles, that efficiency compounds. Every ounce of energy she saves by staying on top of the snow is energy she puts into the harness. She isn't fighting the ground, she's using it. Males, generally speaking, and I say this with love, are terrible at pacing. Biologically, they are wired for the sprint. They are wired for the explode. The gate opens, the adrenaline hits, and the boys want to go 1,000,000 miles an hour. They dump their entire fuel tank in the first 50 miles because they want to win right now. They see the hill, and they attack it with everything they have. That's great for a sprint race, but in a marathon, that's suicide. You burn out your glycogen stores, you build up lactic acid, and suddenly, 3 days later, that dog is bonking. He's crashing hard. Females, they have a different internal clock. They seem to understand intuitively that this isn't a sprint. You see them running at the start, and they're almost reserved. They hold back. They settle into a rhythm that they can maintain not just for an hour, but for 10 days. It's a slow burn. While the boys are hyperventilating and scorching their muscles trying to look impressive in the first hour, the females are just trotting along, keeping that tank half full. They don't crave the explosion, they crave the rhythm. And that is what gets you to Nome. Let's talk about dog psychology for a second. Specifically, let's talk about testosterone. It's a powerful hormone, sure, but it's also really distracting. Male dogs, even the neutered ones, have a lot of ego. They care about who is looking at them. They care about the dog running next to them. Is he touching my shoulder? Is he looking at me wrong? I need to growl at him to show him I'm the boss. That takes mental energy. It takes focus away from the trail. The females, they typically couldn't care less about that posturing. They are strictly business. We call them honest dogs. When a female puts her head down, she isn't worrying about pecking order. She isn't looking back to see if the musher is watching. She is focused entirely on the job. There is a clarity of mind in a good female leader that cuts through the noise. While the boys are busy having a silent measuring contest in the wheel position, the female in lead is reading the trail, listening to commands, and ignoring the drama. Ego weighs nothing on a scale, but it's the heaviest thing you can carry on a sled. And the girls, they usually leave their ego at the starting line. We have to be careful how we talk about this because we never want dogs to be in pain. But the reality of an ultra-endurance race is discomfort. Muscles get sore, paws get tender, the wind bites. It's inevitable. There is a specific kind of toughness that female huskies possess. It's not the loud, growling toughness, it's a quiet resilience. You might see a big male get a tiny ice ball between his toes, and he stops. He lifts his paw, he looks back at you like the world is ending. He makes a scene. He needs you to come fix it immediately. A tough female? She deals with it. She seems to have this higher threshold for discomfort, where she just compartmentalizes it. She might have a sore wrist or a tired shoulder, but she doesn't let it break her stride. It's almost like she knows the team depends on her. Some mushers joke that it's the same biological wiring that allows for childbirth, this innate ability to endure intense physical stress without panicking. She doesn't tap out when it gets hard, she gets harder. When the conditions are at their absolute worst, whiteout blizzard, 50 below, the boys might look for a place to curl up. The girls just look for the trail. You know that coworker who comes in, sets up their desk, does their work perfectly, and leaves without ever getting involved in office gossip? That is your lead female husky. Then you have the guy who spends 4 hours talking by the water cooler, flirts with the receptionist, and tries to race you to the elevator. That's your male. In mushing, we call it shenanigans. Males are easily distracted. Oh, look, a tree to pee on. Oh, look, a female in heat 3 miles away that I can smell. Oh, look, a moose track. Their attention spans can be scattershot. A high-value female is professional. That's the best word for it, professionalism. When the harness goes on, the play switch turns off. You can rely on her not to tangle the line because she was trying to sniff a bush. You can rely on her to keep the line tight at a stop. It sounds boring, right? But when you are tired, hallucinating from sleep deprivation, and trying to manage 16 dogs, boring is the most beautiful thing in the world. You don't want excitement. You want a dog that treats pulling like a vocation, not a hobby. She takes her job seriously, so you don't have to micromanage her. So why are they in front? Why is the female often the lead dog? Because steering a sled isn't about muscle, it's about processing speed. The lead dog is the CEO of the team. They have to hear a command, G, right, or ha, left, process it, and execute it instantly, often while running at 15 miles an hour. But it's more than just robotically following orders. They have to read the snow. They have to find the hard-packed trail under a layer of drift. Females tend to be sharper listeners. They are more attuned to the musher's voice. A big male might hear G and think, yeah, but I want to go straight because that looks easier. He tries to muscle his way through. He thinks he knows better because he's big. The female listens. She connects with the musher. It's a partnership. She understands that the voice behind her sees something she doesn't. Or, conversely, she sees the trail better than the musher does. It's a cognitive task. You need a dog that is thinking 3 steps ahead, not just a dog that is pushing hard. That cerebral quality, that ability to process nuance, that is where the female shines. Let's get a little technical. If you watch a really good female husky trot, it's hypnotic. It's smooth. There is very little vertical oscillation, meaning she doesn't bounce up and down. All her energy goes forward. Because females are generally lighter and have slightly different hip structures, their gait is often more fluid. A big, chesty male might have a bit of a lumbering quality. He pounds the ground. Pounds, pounds, pounds. Over 1,000 miles, that impact destroys joints. It destroys wrists. The female glides. Her biomechanics are often more efficient for the long haul because she isn't hammering her own skeleton with every stride. She's lighter on her feet. This preserves her body. It's why you often see females lasting longer in their careers. A big male might be retired at 8 years old because his shoulders are shot. A well-built female might still be leading the team at 10, moving just as smoothly as she did when she was 3. It's the difference between a tank and a finely tuned sports car. The tank breaks the road. The sports car flows with it. Here is a misconception. The leader of the pack has to be the one who can beat everyone up, the alpha. But in a working dog team, aggression is useless. If your leader is snapping at the other dogs, you have chaos, you have fear. A fearful team doesn't run well. Females lead through what we call social confidence. It's the matriarch style. Think of a wolf pack. It's often the older female who decides when they hunt and where they move. She doesn't rule by biting, she rules by competence. The other dogs trust her. When a confident female is in the lead, the rest of the team calms down. The big boys in the back, they settle in. They know mom is driving the bus, so everything is going to be okay. They don't challenge her because she isn't challenging them. She isn't threatening their masculinity. She's just doing the job. This creates a cohesive team dynamic. If you put a bully in front, the team is on edge. Put a matriarch in front, and the team is a family. This is purely a numbers game. It comes down to calories. You have to carry all the food for these dogs in the sled. Straw, kibble, meat, fat, it's heavy. A 90-pound male needs a massive amount of calories just to exist, let alone run. He is a gas guzzler. He burns fuel just keeping that big body warm. A 45-pound female, she is a hybrid electric vehicle. Her metabolic efficiency is incredible. She needs significantly less food to do the same amount of mileage. This matters. If she eats less, you carry less weight. If you carry less weight, the team runs faster. Or she eats the same amount but maintains her body weight better. You often see this late in the race. The big boys start looking skinny. They can't eat enough to replace what they burn. The females, they finish the race looking like they could turn around and run back. They hold their condition. They convert fat to energy so efficiently that they become these little nuclear reactors of endurance. They are the ultimate survival machines. This is the final, most critical point. The specific genius of a great lead dog. It's called intelligent disobedience. Imagine you're the musher. It's pitch black. You scream "ha" to go left across a frozen river. You trust the ice. But the dog sees something you don't. She sees open water, or she senses thin ice. A robot dog would go left and kill everyone. A male with too much ego might go left just to prove he can. But a smart female, she stops. She refuses. You yell at her. She ignores you. She drags the team right around the danger and then gets back on the trail. She disobeyed you to save you. That requires a level of intelligence that is almost scary. She has to weigh her training, listen to the boss, against her survival instinct, and make a split-second decision that she knows better than the human. Females are famous for this. They are the safety net. They don't just follow orders blindly, they interpret them. And that is why, when the storm hits and the world goes white, you want her eyes at the front of the line. So, let's look at the scorecard. She's lighter, so she doesn't sink. She eats less, so she carries her own weight better. She doesn't waste energy on ego or fighting. She paces herself. She listens better, but she's smart enough to ignore you when you're wrong. And she does it all with a smooth, efficient gait that keeps her safe from injury. The perfect sled dog isn't the monster on the movie poster. It's the unassuming 45-pound female with the bright eyes and the endless trot. She is the engine, the navigator, and the heart of the team. The boys might provide the horsepower to get the sled moving, but the girls are the reason the sled finishes the race.